right, so was that a wonderful meal or what? Thank you, Muscle Whites. And again, thank you, Bates and Hewitt, for always sponsoring our meal. We are so appreciative of it. It is time for us to get this part going. At this time, I'm going to ask our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Rick Surrency. He's going to come up, he's going to share a few words with us, and then he's going to introduce our keynote speaker. And once that gets done, then we will be and then after that, we will be recognizing each one of our honorees tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Whitehurst. Can we hear better in the back now? Is that better? Good, good. Before I start, I want to thank a couple more people for our sound. You probably didn't realize while we were eating and having a good time, Justin Letton and Mike McDaniel, if y'all would wave, they actually, Justin actually ran back to the county office, didn't you, or ran somewhere to get some more speakers. So thank you for doing that and all the work behind the scenes. So thank you very much. I want to take just a minute before I bring Brian up here and I love to brag and talk about some of the great things that are going on in our district. And the folks that are here tonight are representative of the great things that are happening in our district. And as you know, our school district, our school board has created a strategic plan. And in other words, that's just a set of long-term goals that we follow to be successful in the Putnam County School District. And when I took office 3 years ago, I established a number of goals to help implement that plan. And I'm not going to bore you by reading all that, but what I want to do is just talk about what all of our teachers and employees have done to meet some of those goals that have made us as successful as we are today. And we've done some historic things I'm very proud of, and I'm talking about our entire district. So I want to talk about globally what's been going on, and just to give you a frame of reference on why the people seated here tonight have done such a great job. They represent all the people in our district. First of all, our first goal talks about professional learning and training, professional development, which teachers hear that all the time. And the information I've been given from our Department of Teaching and Learning has said that they have supported 160 teachers in 9 professional learning communities this year. And the curriculum specialists, our coaches, and our mentors have provided almost 3,500 hours of direct support to teachers throughout the district. So it takes a lot of training, a lot of professional development to stay on top of effective teaching practices. Another goal of ours has been to provide choices for our students in acceleration, in career training, and enrichment programs. And a number of our teachers here today represent that expansion. For example, our Cambridge program, which has been expanded across the district, our collegiate high school, our SOAR project, which is distance learning. We have some teachers who are actually teaching in 2 schools at the same time by using technology. And of course, our career and technical education programs with our advanced manufacturing, which we work very closely with Georgia Pacific, our Public Service Academy, and a number of other traditional career programs. Another goal we have is to create individualized plans that help students make transitions. And that's a fancy way of saying we help them move to one grade to the other, and we also help them to graduate on time. And of course, you've heard a lot about our graduation rate improvement. And I'd like to just remind you about some of the improvement there. Back in 2015, about half of the students who started 9th grade graduated on time, 54%. That was dismal. 4 years later, the most recent rates that are out is 86.3%. We are 0.6% away from being at state average as a district. Every single subgroup, every one of them, which includes African American, Hispanic, students with disabilities, English language learners, has met or has almost met or exceeded the state average. And this is one I like to share with people, and actually I sent an email out to all of our employees. We went from being ranked number 66 out of 67 districts in graduation rate to this year we're number 37. 37. And I made sure when I sent that email out, I listed all the districts who we were ahead of. Just some like Miami-Dade County and, some of those counties. But Putnam County outdid Miami-Dade County. That's pretty cool. But more than that, Putnam County, over that period of time, grew the most in graduation rate than any other district in the state of Florida. 31.4 percentage points. Not only is that something that's exciting for the school district, our local community embraces that as well. Because when our graduation rates improve, everything else improves with it. The tide lifts everything. And if you saw in the paper not too long ago, our housing starts have increased. GP, I think, has responded to a lot of the stuff that we're doing, has worked very closely with us because of some of our programs and our improvements. So, I'm so happy with what's going on in the district, not only for the people in this room and our students, but for our entire community. So it ought to give you a lot of pride about Putnam County. A couple other things I want to point out. We meet with our principals from time to time. As a matter of fact, we're meeting with them tomorrow to go over their data, to make sure they are on pace to meet our district goals. And with that, our teachers are the ones on the front line who actually help improve our schools. At one time, about 2 years ago, out of our 18 schools, we had 11 schools that were on the state's turnaround list. That's like the state's naughty list, which means that we're on track to have to close down some schools. 11 of our 18. As of this year, we have 0 because of what the people in this room did. That's the first time that's happened in 10 years. So that is something to really be proud of. Again, hard work, teachers, employees, principals, everybody had a role in doing that. And then finally, our final goal has to do with recruiting, developing, and retaining talented employees. Not only teachers, but also employees. And we really take that to heart because in order to move our district forward, we've got to have the best people working in the classroom and supporting our teachers as we can. Let me just list a couple of things that we've done, that our teachers have done. Recruiting good teachers. Some of the best teachers we have grew up in this county and have started off as paraprofessionals. So we have started a program called Paras to Pros, where we are recruiting those paraprofessionals and helping them to get their degree so they can become teachers. And that is happening now. Because we know they're going to stay here and they are invested here. And St. Leo University is helping us with that. We're also supporting our teachers through the Novice Teacher Mentor Program. We have former teachers who are actually do nothing but full-time working with brand new teachers, or actually 0 to 3 years experience, to make sure those teachers are successful, they have what they need, they have the questions answered. We want them to stay here. And I tell you, that's been a big help in recruiting. Not only the money, it's about getting that support. And Miss Carroll, Kristen Carroll, has been in charge of that program. And actually, we are releasing a video tomorrow on our Facebook page. It's called the Teacher Mentor Program. Be sure to look at that. It's about a 4 to 5 minute video. It interviews and it gives testimonials from those teachers that talks about how important it is to work in Putnam County and the support those teachers get. And we're going to use those videos when we go out and recruit teachers here in a few weeks. Our focus is to be competitive also. It's one thing to hire employees here and then another district offer them something else and lose them. So it has been a focus of our district to be as competitive as possible. As you know, the legislature is right now reviewing the governor's proposal to pay all teachers a minimum pay of $47,500, which I think is great. I hope they can find the money to do that. But by the same token, our district is looking at how can we pay all employees, not just brand new teachers, but all employees. So that's something that we're looking at. We're very serious about rewarding our employees and paying them for, the contribution they make. But I will say, this past July, we were fortunate enough to give all of our employees, for the first time in 12 years, not ever. First time in 12 years, we gave them a 3% raise across the board. And I know that's not enough to make a huge difference, but we're trying to move in the positive direction. So hopefully this year we can continue to do that. But I just want to tell you, as the superintendent, I appreciate what our teachers, all of our employees do, and we're going to do everything we can to reward you and to help you to make a living. And that's very important to us. So with that said, I want to introduce our guest speaker tonight. And he comes with a lot of experience himself. Brian Barnes is in his 10th year of leading the Florida Partnership for Minority and Underrepresented Student Achievement Team in efforts to promote equitable access to opportunity for traditionally marginalized students throughout the state. Brian is a gifted motivator, speaking to groups throughout the state about the importance of access and equity for all students and the value of education and leveling the playing field. Prior to joining the College Board, he worked in a variety of educational positions, including classroom teacher, basketball coach. You wouldn't ever think he's a basketball coach, would you? As well as a middle school and a high school principal. He holds a bachelor's degree in marketing, a master's degree in educational leadership from Florida State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcome Mr. Brian Barnes.
Hey everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I would have driven all the way here just for the food I just ate, y'all. That was good. I don't know if it's my head making that feedback or not, but I'll try to keep it away from the microphone. So I feel both uniquely qualified and uniquely unqualified to be up here today. So I will tell you, I come from the Panhandle, so I do know what it's like to be in a rural community. I'm up in Walton County, so the Redneck Riviera, as we're affectionately known, right? Lower Alabama. For those of you who've forgotten, we live up in the Central Time Zone with those few people who do that. So I feel uniquely qualified to speak to you tonight because I've done lots of your jobs. So I have been a paraprofessional. I became a teacher after being a paraprofessional. So those of you who are out here who do that job. I have also been an after-school care person. I worked in an after-school care for kids in Tallahassee when the BASE program first started. There was a pilot program. That's how I first got into education. I also had an opportunity to be a dean, an assistant principal, a principal. So I've done lots of the jobs that are on the list. And in case you in transportation think that I haven't done your job, we really had a bad couple of years in our sporting teams. And so as a coach, I drove a bus. So I had my CDL for a while there too. So I've done lots of your jobs, so that makes me uniquely qualified to speak to you. On the other side, I've never been the anything of the year in any of those jobs. So I am uniquely unqualified to speak to educators and leaders of education in of your caliber. So thank you so much for having me. I am Brian Barnes. I do work for the Florida Partnership for Minority and Underrepresented Student Achievement. And the work that we do in that program is about helping more traditionally marginalized, overlooked students have the same opportunities as their more resourced peers, right? So we know some kids start off in school and they're super resourced and we're excited for them. And gosh, we're glad for those kids when they come to our classrooms. But we know a lot of our kids, we have to grow our own, right? We have to start at the beginning. They come to us with all they know, and we may be the only 8 hours of a day that they really have some, organization, and the chaos kind of goes away. So we know we have all kinds of kids and all kinds of expectations, but what we're most excited about is the opportunity to find ways to interact with students who traditionally, like I said, are overlooked. So for the first 10 years, the Florida Partnership's been around for about 20 years. It started with Governor Bush, and we were in the places you might think the Florida Partnership for Minority and Underrepresented Student Achievement would be. Places that have high poverty, places that have high minority populations, places that have both, places that traditionally have schools that struggle. And so for 10 years we did that, and then in the 10th year it was interesting. The Commissioner of Education remembered that there was another group that was probably also underrepresented, and that was rural schools. That rural students are actually underrepresented by geography alone, let alone the poverty, let alone the majority minority districts that we have around the state. And that the College Board would surely send people to help in Miami-Dade and in Jacksonville, because there's lots of tests out there, but they weren't really sending people down to visit here like I am today. So that's what the Florida Partnership is about. How can we help more different students get ready earlier? If I start off in the Bluebirds reading group, and Ree, my friend over there, starts off in the Buzzards reading group, because of course you knew I was going to get the good reading group. Because I had lap reading, and we traveled to Europe every summer, and poor Ree raised herself and her kids and her brothers and sisters and didn't have time for all that. What is the way that we get there, right? How do we get there without public education? So how many of you out there, if you don't mind, raise your hand, who are doing this job, are here because you were influenced by a teacher or an educator at some point, you know? Whether you're doing a job as a teacher or not, lots of us have teachers, coaches, different people who've influenced us. So I just am honored to even be here tonight. I have no business talking to you, but I appreciate you honoring me by giving me an opportunity to talk. I do want to tell you that when I talk about college, I do work for the College Board. We're the people who do the SAT, yay, right? AP, Advanced Placement coursework. So whenever I go someplace, it's always great conversation. What do you do? Tests. But that's not really what we do. What we really do is we're in the opportunity business. So when I talk about college, I'm talking about anything that gets you into a living wage. And I love what the superintendent said, Dr. Cernsey, when he was talking about the goals. Goal number 1 was professional learning. And I want to show you, I've seen examples of this of your teachers. I've seen your teachers all over the state. We were just having a conversation about them going to the Boca Ciega High School in a couple of weeks to see some work that's going on there. They've been down to South Sumter High School, another rural district where they're doing a great job. I think to see your people out at AVID training, I don't know if you're not familiar with the program, Advancement via Individual Determination. AVID is an incredible program about college readiness, and all the teachers that you're sending to training and all the great work that you're doing to try to level the playing field for our kids. And let's be honest, our kids don't have the same advantages in rural districts that they do in places where there's larger economy of scale, right? You're not bringing in the big speakers and the other things that you get, so you have to kind of find ways to be creative and inventive. You have to go see what other people are doing. You can't live in your shell. You can't say, well, this is good enough. I don't know if any of you are as old as me, but if you've been teaching long enough, there was a time when your grades were the only thing that counted. Like you were like the emperor of grades, right? I would just be like, well, we're not going to get to the last 3 chapters this year, so we'll just do one big test over the last 3 chapters, right? That was my standards. I met them, right? Anybody remember FPMS when they walk around your room and be like, hey, okay, he's got with itness. All the kids are sitting in their seat. Nobody yelled at anybody. It's a good day. Then they started measuring stuff, and I was like, dang, my kids don't know anything. I need to write a letter of apology for the first 10 years of students I taught. I am so sorry that you didn't learn anything. I hope your life turned out okay. So there's a reason I'm not here doing that. But what I really like also about what you're talking about is choices. Choices for students. We're looking for the idea of full option graduates here in Putnam County. Full option means that you can choose when you're done. I can choose to go to a 4-year university. I could choose to go to a state college, a technical school. I could choose to go to the military, but it would be my choice. I ask kids all the time when I visit, I say, hey, tell me what don't you like about school, right? Because I used to always work with the underdog kids. That's kind of my thing. They'd say, I don't like people telling me what to do all day long. I said, well, you know what happens when you don't finish school? People tell you what to do all day long. I'm like, this is exactly what you didn't want to happen, and it's going to happen to you for the rest of your life, right? People say some school is summative and some school is formative. No, folks, all school is formative. They're supposed to make mistakes. We send them to school so they'll make mistakes. When they're on your bus and they're acting like a moron, for lack of a better term, or a dirtier term probably, you have to say to yourself, how do I get that kid to where they need to be? And you know so many stories. So for me, first of all, if you ever get a job as a consultant, you should do that job, because I got that job and it's pretty easy. I go places, I tell other people what to do. If it doesn't work out, I tell them they missed chapter 4, paragraph 3, number 1. I'll be back in a couple of months. Meanwhile, Dr. Cernsey has to stay here with his team and try to fix all the problems. But as a consultant, I've had an incredible opportunity to go see other people's schools and other people's districts. Nobody makes a 30-point turnaround in your graduation rate unless there's an intentional plan to change the way things happen, right? To change the world, to change our own community. I live in Walton County, and I bring home that New York College Board money, and I spend it in Walton County businesses all the time. I keep taking their Yankee money, and I keep spending it in my southern town, drinking my sweet tea where they still got it. Hey, I went down south and got booed not long ago in Miami, so I'm so happy y'all are with me today. That was good, because that hurt my feelings. Plus, I ordered sweet tea, and they told me I had to drive north. At McDonald's, they said, you're going to have to go a little further north to get your sweet tea. I said, that is not going to work. So we appreciate that, but you're not satisfied with just having graduation, because when you finish, getting in it, getting through isn't the target. It's getting you into a job. So when the superintendent was talking about the idea of transition, right? How do we make smart transitions? And how do we transition kids into things that will help our community, that will help them, that will break the education cycle? There are some kids in our school that we know right from the jump they're going to get there, right? Change the school, change the desk, change everything else. They'll drive by your school if your school doesn't do a good job to go to somebody else's school. But what about all the kids that ride the bus to school every day, who you're their only hope, right? I'm first generation. My parents said, you are going to college. I was like, yep. I was like, what is that? They're like, we don't know, but you are definitely going there. We got no idea. I ended up with a basketball scholarship at the very last minute. You know somebody got hurt somewhere, because I wasn't going. I was already in the Air Force. I'd already got the haircut and everything back when I had hair and a Camaro. It was awesome. I didn't have a Camaro. I didn't have that much hair either. But at the last minute, I ended up with a basketball scholarship. It's because a coach didn't give up on me. I went to sign up for classes. Anybody from the old school where when you would sign up for classes, you had to walk around to the different tables? Yeah. You didn't do nothing online or call nobody on the phone. You just be like, my roommate was going to be a physicist and I was going to be a PE coach. And I went around and I said, well, let's get classes together. I said, we'll get all the same classes. He's like, yeah. My coach looked at my schedule like, no, you won't. So anyway, I say that it's very important. I want you to remember how important it is. I want you to also get this idea. Our kids deserve these chances, these options. And I want you to, tonight is a night to celebrate leadership. And I know that when we think about leadership, we're always thinking about the boss over here, and you surely should. You should think about your boss, always. I think about mine all the time. But leadership doesn't happen on the org chart. Leaders are all around us, right? If you wait for the people who are on the organizational chart to do the leading, we're not going to get this job done. You lead when you take those children under your wings, the children under your care. And there's no better place for them to fail than right here. When they make a mistake, we're here to set them right. Guess what? If your kid goes off to college and they start not doing their homework, nobody's going to call you. Little Susie didn't do her homework. We need you to get that homework turned in. The only time they're going to call you is when they need a check, right? Little Susie's check's not here. But tell me about her grades. I can't do that. That's illegal. Click. Right? But right here, you got people who sit in the bleachers, people who sit in the pews with you, people who are your neighbors and your friends who can pull it together. We've been doing this for a long time at a high level in rural schools here in Florida with sports, haven't we? We got clean feeder patterns. The coach goes down to elementary school. He finds all of his players, teach them all the plays. How you live up near Port St. Joe High School? How you think I like taking my team over there to get beat? And all of them 6 feet tall, the same exact height, and every one of them can shoot and dribble. It's amazing. Because you know why? Because Coach Epinet was the elementary school PE coach and the high school basketball coach. He was recruiting his talent, teaching them all the way up. Right? He knew who could play, who couldn't play. They weren't worried about, I'm trying to learn the inbound plays. He's over here with guys who just all they do is shoot all practice. Because they know the play since they were in 3rd grade. So how do we continue to harness that power of our feeder patterns here in our rural districts? It's about the work that you do every day. It's about getting up every morning and cranking up that bus. It's about getting up every morning and making sure everybody who walks in that school is checked in. Now, you people who work in the office, I don't know what to tell you, but God help you for all the traffic you got in and out and all the security. We want nothing more than to protect our children and to make sure our children have a future. I talk to people about this all the time. Oh, we spend too much money on education. I said, tell me about Fort Knox. How do we protect our gold? They're like, well, it's got like the guards and all people. I'm like, do you care about your money more than you care about your kids? Right? Oh, we pay teachers enough. What about your stockbroker? Do you want them to be well paid? How about your heart doctor before they crank up that saw? You want them to just got back from Aruba, all rested, And I don't care about me as much as I care about my kids. And you're going to put your kids there more hours a week than they see you. They see these people standing in this room right now. And we are lucky and blessed to have an army of people who care enough about kids to do the kind of work that you do. So I want to say thank you so much for listening to me for just a few minutes. I want to say thank you so much to Dr. Sorensen and his team for having me. And I want to say how proud I am about the work that you're doing here. And if we have any little part to do with that, we're excited about it. Let us know how we can help. Have a great evening, and congratulations to all of you on the great work that you've done as a district.
Thank you so much, Brian. Just for fun, how many are first generation college? Yes, so proud, so proud. Okay, just wanted to do that real quick. Okay, so now we are going to begin with our presentations for our guest of honor tonight. Nominees, I would ask that you please follow your program. We will be going through that. And when the person ahead of you is being recognized, if you will go ahead and make your way behind the camera, kind of towards the back, and over here to the right of the stage, my left, your right. And then as we begin reading your introduction, if you'll start making your way up to the front of the table, our superintendent will be there along with Mr. Mike Griffith from GP, and they will be presenting you your awards. I will start out by recognizing our administrators of the year, and then we will start with, after that, Kristen Carroll will be coming up and introducing and recognizing our teachers. And then after that, we're going to follow it up with those of you who pull everything together for us, and that's our school and support related employees, and Jackie Smith will be doing those introductions. So at this time, I'm going to ask Dr. Sorensen and Mr. Griffith, if you will come up, if you'll kind of place yourself in front of the table. Our honorees will be standing in between you. We're going to get ready and get this going. Okay, so tonight we are excited to begin this part of our employee recognition ceremony with our nominations for the Principal and Assistant Principal Achievement Award for Outstanding Leadership. This program was established by the state of Florida to recognize exemplary school-based administrators for their contributions to their schools and communities. This program honors leaders that have spearheaded initiatives to increase student performance, promote safe learning environments, and establish partnerships with parents and community members. Both of our candidates tonight far exceed this set of criteria. This year, our outstanding Principal of the Year is Ms. Sarah Jean McDaniel from Mosley Elementary School. It has been amazing to witness and experience the transformation of Mosley Elementary School to a model school for both our district and the state. The CEO of LSI, Learning Science International, Michael Toth, recently had this to say about Mrs. McDaniel. I've visited schools across the country, but what I saw at Mosley Elementary School was truly amazing. Teachers pointed out for me students who had previously been struggling readers, participating, or had acted out through misbehavior. And now these students were not only excelling academically, they were also leading and tutoring their peers and self-managing their own behavior. This is because Ms. McDaniel had the courage to implement school-wide instructional shifts through academic teaming. It is not easy to lead a school through adopting a new model, but has Ms. McDaniel's students benefited immensely from the changes. I also spoke with teachers who had been considering leaving their career, but now have restored their passion for teaching and have grown professionally through Ms. McDaniel's coaching. I noticed many community members proudly volunteering to help out at the school, inspired by the culture that she has created. Ms. McDaniel's leadership elevates not only her school and its community, but also the district as a whole, Educators from across the Putnam County School District visit Mosley to learn how to achieve these outcomes in their own schools. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Sarah Jean McDaniel. Our outstanding assistant principal of the year is also from Mosley Elementary School, Mr. Brandon Tony Benford. In 2017, Mr. Benford enthusiastically accepted the challenge of helping lead the turnaround effort at Mosley Elementary. His focus on changing the school's culture has been a driving force in transforming the school and the entire community. Tony has strength as an honest communicator who builds trust with all who work with him. He works at building relationships with all stakeholders, especially parents who are not accustomed to being involved with the school. Tony is a mentor to students at risk, an advocate who helps students believe in themselves, and a local celebrity. Every morning, the school and the surrounding community can hear his wonderful voice on the morning announcements. As part of the announcements, he enthusiastically leads the entire school in reciting the Mosley Pledge that he authors each year to inspire students to work hard and do their best every day. It is a pleasure to see his smiling face, hear his positive words, and experience the care and consideration he has for everyone every day. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brandon Tony Benford. At this time, I would like to ask Ms. Kristen Carroll, our Human Resources Administrator for Certification, Recruitment, and Retention, to present our honorees for Teacher of the Year.
Good evening. At this time, I would like to share with you some words about each nominee written by their administrative team. Our first nominee, Rebecca Bennett. Mrs. Rebecca Bennett is a valuable 5th grade math and science teacher at Browning Pierce Elementary. She is one of the most passionate educators I have ever worked with, who has a strong work ethic in regards to all students and their academic and social success. She not only works to ensure student success, but also strives to take appropriate measures to guarantee her own professional growth as well. Mrs. Bennett collaborates with her colleagues as a partner teacher on her 5th grade team, and she goes above and beyond to implement alternative strategies to keep her students genuinely engaged in the lessons and activities that she teaches. Although Mrs. Bennett has 2 full blocks of her own students to teach, monitor, assess, and build relationships with this year, that does not hinder her from lending a hand with her previous students or any others in need whenever she is available. Her dedication cannot be compared when it comes to differentiated support to all students, and her commitment to education goes beyond expectations. Mrs. Bennett is a gifted and talented educator who dedicates her time and energy to meet the needs of the entire school, however we may need her to contribute or assist. Her competitive nature enhances her talents in the classroom as she creatively finds ways to encourage and motivate others to be the best they can be by working hard to become better than they were each day before. Browning Pierce Elementary is proud to have Mrs. Bennett representing us in Putnam County this year and congratulates her on her achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, Rebecca Bennett. Our next nominee, Carol Bogdan. Mrs. Carol Bogdan is the Teacher of the Year for C.H. Price Middle School, where she teaches 8th grade English language arts. Mrs. Bogdan has demonstrated her commitment to our students by providing a student-centered and focused learning environment that is rivaled by many. Her priority is to provide her students with the best instruction and strategies possible. She spends countless hours planning and tweaking lessons in order to meet the needs of the various levels of students in her classes. As a master teacher and model classroom for Price, Anytime you walk into her classroom, there is an atmosphere of rigorous teaching and learning happening, as evidenced by the collaborative discourse among student groups, tasks that are standards-driven, and students that are self-monitoring their learning based on success criteria. She motivates her students to achieve by instilling in them a belief that they can be successful. Mrs. Bogdan also has a gift of being able to build a rapport with both students and parents that sets her apart from others. She is willing to put in extra hours to be available for students, for tutoring, as well as being available by phone for her students to call with homework questions. She also spends countless hours each week talking with parents to keep them updated on their child's progress, which solidifies to the parents her dedication to them and their child. Our students and our teachers are better today because of Mrs. Bogdan's impact and influence. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Bogdan. Our next nominee, Erica Brazil. Erica has served the Putnam County School District for the past 16 years. She is always eager to help all individuals on our campus with academic and social needs. She has a kindness and genuine love for our students. A great characteristic Erica possesses is the power of her relationships with everyone, while maintaining a consistent learning environment for all. Erica is always willing to assist her peers in whatever event is taking place, from lesson planning and mentoring to leading a group to decorate our bulletin boards around campus to helping with concession stands at our basketball games. Erica keeps our students and families updated with standards and assessment information and collaborates with both novice and veteran teachers to better utilize engagement strategies for more purposeful instructional time. I believe that Erica wants our students to be successful and feel confident about their hard work, both in and out of the classroom. She has taken the experiences of her previous work with elementary and put that patient perspective and demeanor to good use through small groups and interventions for our students, as well as our community by making and or strengthening family and supportive connections. Erica absolutely goes the extra mile for all of our students, taking into account both individual needs and personality. Her positive attitude and determination are unwavering. Ladies and gentlemen, Erica Brazil. Our next nominee, Sean Braddock. Sean Braddock has been an English language arts teacher at Crescent City High School since 2010. During his 9 years at Crescent City High, he has taught students in grades 9 through 12 and helped many at-risk students meet the graduation requirement in reading. With 20 years of experience as an English language arts teacher, Mr. Braddock has been the department head for the last 5 years and mentored 2 new teachers as they entered the workforce as English teachers. Mr. Braddock has taken a positive approach to implementing technology in the classroom and used numerous outside resources to support instruction and enhance student learning. All of his students have grown academically and socially from their experiences in his class. His sense of humor is unmatched, while his instructional strategies draw students to deeper learning in all of his courses. His continuous pursuit of learning and the use of instructional technology far exceed the expectation of highly effective teaching. Mr. Braddock has also made a positive impact on the school culture, serving as a summer school teacher. For the last 5 years, he has helped students with credit recovery and allowed at-risk students to meet their graduation requirements. He truly cares about the students and their ability to get back on track when they falter. Most recently, Mr. Braddock has taken on the role of a Cambridge teacher. His vast knowledge in English and math allows students access to quality instruction in the ACE Thinking Skills class. This is evident by his qualification as a Florida Best and Brightest teacher with excellent background knowledge in reading and math. Through hard work and dedication, Mr. Braddock will continue to excel in the classroom and support student learning. He is a great ambassador for Crescent City High School and our entire school district. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Braddock. Our next nominee, Deborah King. Patient, loving, and kind are all adjectives you could use to describe Deborah King. Deborah's patience with her students is visible to all who enter her class. She does not give up, but requires them to work and persevere until they meet their goals. The love and sense of family she has for her students is evident in her willingness to go above and beyond to ensure that she creates a classroom atmosphere that allows each student to reach their maximum potential. Deborah's kindness extends far beyond the walls of her classroom. She is a friend and supporter to everyone at E.H. Miller, always ready to help and take part. Deborah is a seasoned educator with a wide variety of classroom experience. She is frequently seen sharing her knowledge and skills with anyone needing help. Deborah is a wonderful collaborative team member. We are extremely proud to have Deborah King represent E.H. Miller as our PCSD Teacher of the Year candidate. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah King. Our next nominee, Krista Kubiak. Krista Kubiak is a problem solver, an innovator, and a dynamic member of the ELA department. Her enthusiasm, love, and passion for teaching always shine through. Krista does not work or serve for awards or accolades, but simply to inspire and impact all those she comes in contact with on a daily basis. She has mastered the elusive art of being firm but fair, having rules, yet maintaining relationships, and keenly remembering that though she teaches the ELA content, she is really teaching students, whom she freely offers love, acceptance, and grace. While remaining current with the latest instructional strategies and technologies, she can still reach a troubled or struggling student with simple and yet profound motherly instincts and empathy coupled with complete professionalism. Likewise, Krista knows how to accelerate and challenge her students because of professional development experiences and innovations that she has pursued and mastered. Krista has a calling in her life, and that calling is teaching, which she exquisitely balances with her most important roles as a wife and as a mother. She teaches her students to strive for excellence, to love reading, and to respect each other. And she teaches all of us, her peers, to give our best for our students, to wear a smile, to have faith, and to remember that the storms of life can often produce beautiful rainbows and new growth. Ladies and gentlemen, Krista Kubiak. Our next nominee, Cami Fauché. To say that Mrs. Fauché goes above and beyond her job responsibilities is a gross understatement. Mrs. Fauché works very hard to ensure that each student is challenged and receives the best education possible. She spends countless hours creating unique and creative projects to keep her students engaged. Her students gain a love for learning early in the year and maintain it all year long. Mrs. Fauché can be seen in her classroom early in the morning, late in the afternoon, and on weekends planning and preparing for her students. Mrs. Fauché builds an incredible relationship with her students' parents. She communicates with parents daily as an open door policy in her classroom. You can find parents in her room on a daily basis helping students and/or running a learning center. Parents are also invited to many celebrations that take place in Mrs. Fauché's classroom that allow students to celebrate their learning. Students in other grade levels also benefit from Mrs. Fauché's creativity. She has paired up with other classes to join her class when conducting science experiments, reading books, or creating art projects. I can honestly say that Interlochen Elementary is a better place because Cami Fauché is working there. She puts her heart into everything she does and is a model teacher for our entire faculty and staff. Ladies and gentlemen, Cami Fauché. Our next nominee, Tanya Troiano. Mrs. Troiano is a dedicated educator who is a wonderful teacher, mentor, and team player. She has always been in pursuit of professional growth and is one of those teachers willing to go above and beyond the call of duty to serve the students of Interlochen High School and to assist her colleagues and school community when needed. Mrs. Troiano exhibits a relentless desire to positively impact as many students as possible on a daily basis. She creates a classroom environment that is well structured, welcoming to students, and she does whatever it takes to keep students engaged. Mrs. Troiano keeps a clear focus on improving student achievement for all students and can effectively teach students at all levels. She has an innate ability to reach her students and can get them to perform well without lowering her expectations. This is why Mrs. Troiano is Interlochen High School's Teacher of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Tanya Troiano. Our next nominee, Kelly McGahee. Mrs. Kelly McGahee has been selected as the James A. Long Teacher of the Year by her peers for her love and compassion for children and adults alike, her ability to reach struggling students as well as challenge her first grade Cambridge students, her ability to inspire students at every level to become avid readers, and her unending efforts to enhance the educational opportunities for all students attending James A. Long. As the first grade team leader, Kelly has proven herself to be an excellent resource, problem solver, mentor, and motivator for her team and for other team leaders. She tirelessly leads her team in aligning standards to the curriculum, securing extra needed resources, and helping create grade level enrichment activities. She enthusiastically participates in professional development to deepen her content knowledge and strengthen her instructional practices, as has conducted professional development for the James A. Long faculty. The James A. Long faculty, staff, students, and their families have greatly benefited from Mrs. McGahee's ability to accept responsibilities outside of her classroom and from her positive attitude, her bubbly personality, and her contagious enthusiasm. These character traits have had a direct impact on building stronger relationships among the James A. Long faculty and staff and student population. As Kelly works to balance her work, family, and community life, she is an outstanding example for teachers everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, Kelly McGahee. Our next nominee, Sonia Werkheiser. Sonia Werkheiser can be described as a passionate, positive, and energetic teacher. She is caring and develops meaningful relationships with her students. Mrs. Werkheiser has a classroom environment filled with mutual trust and respect for all. I love seeing the enthusiasm and energy when I walk into her room. She has a special talent that makes learning fun. Her strengths go deeper than just being in the classroom. Mrs. Werkheiser fosters our school community. She is the head of our hospitality committee, where she has been in charge for 10 years. Since I have been at Kelly Smith, she has planned our fall festival as well as our Polar Express night. She also planned our school Santa shop, where our students can purchase inexpensive items for their families. Several staff initiatives have taken place this school year as part of our hospitality committee. Mrs. Werkheiser jumps in when she sees the need. She will do anything to make Kelly Smith Elementary School successful. She is a great help during parent pickup, working hard to make sure the process goes smoothly. She has even been seen with shoes off, standing in the rain puddle during a rainy weather day to help our students during dismissal. She is what you describe as an overall team player. We are proud to have Sonia Werkheiser representing Kelly Smith Elementary School as our Teacher of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonia Werkheiser. Our next nominee, Nancy Methvin. Mrs. Methvin has served the students of Putnam County for the past 41 years. Mere words cannot describe what she brings to Mellon Elementary. Her abilities to establish positive relationships, promote student confidence, and produce academic excellence are truly God-given. Even after 41 years, she is always the most innovative, enthusiastic person in the room. The confidence and leadership she has brought to other adults on our staff is invaluable. It is impossible to grasp the full understanding of Mrs. Methvin as a teacher without seeing her in action every day. Her classroom management is amazing. Mrs. Methvin's relentless work effort, deep love for children, and dedication to education combine to make her most worthy of the title Teacher of the Year for Mellon Elementary. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Methvin. Our next nominee, Erin Alves. Erin Alves is a teacher extraordinaire. Erin's passion is working with students with disabilities, and at this time, she is co-teaching a 2nd and 3rd grade combined class. She works with students from all backgrounds. Erin goes above and beyond to ensure that her students have everything they need each and every day. She celebrates each student's success in an effort to encourage them to work diligently every day, no matter how difficult the task may seem. Her students show remarkable amounts of growth due to the fact that their teacher believes in them. Erin's relationships with students are second to none. She is able to connect with each individual student on a personal level. Her abilities help cultivate learning and self-worth in her students. Her peers frequently share what a great job she does motivating and getting her students to achieve academic accomplishments that may seem unreachable. Her students love her dearly and are eager to see her and participate in classroom activities daily. Although Erin has only been at Melrose Elementary for a couple of years, she is a vital part of our school. We are honored to have Mrs. Erin Alves as Melrose Elementary School's Teacher of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Erin Alves. Our next nominee, Luz Guerrero. Mrs. Luz Guerrero's commitment to education is immeasurable. Her students are witnesses of her desire to make sure they give their best and are all successful. To Mrs. Guerrero, failure is not an option, and it never will be. As a colleague and supervisor, she has modeled and exemplified what it means to be an educator. She teaches the whole student and makes lessons applicable and relevant to them. Her methods encourage success and build student confidence. She is forthright and fair, motivational, and supremely knowledgeable in how to encourage best performance from students. Mrs. Guerrero operates with integrity and never has a bad word to say about anyone. She is also loyal, hardworking, dedicated, and never leaves a job unfinished. She exhibits excellent leadership skills and always remains professional. Her magnificent interpersonal skills extend to every level of our school. Ladies and gentlemen, Luz Guerrero. Our next nominee, Diane Cromwell. Diane Cromwell is the Energizer Bunny of kindergarten teachers. She is constantly moving around her classroom, monitoring her students and providing the support they need to be successful in school. Her creativity and planning process lead to lessons that are engaging and meet the different modalities of her students. Diane takes advantage of any opportunity she has to hone her craft in order to help her students. Being a lifelong learner makes her the outstanding teacher she is. A team leader, she supports and encourages and works with other teachers to help them be successful. Diane serves as our wellness coordinator, encouraging our faculty and staff to make healthy choices. As a member of the Parent Involvement Committee, she is involved in our Parent Night events, even those that are centered around grade levels other than kindergarten. Her input into planning and the implementation of the Parent Nights are vital to their success. An event that fifth grade always looks forward to is the fifth grade sleepover. Students invited to the sleepover participate in leadership activities that are designed to help them realize their potential and leadership capabilities. Diane was a team leader for the sleepover and guided students through realizing their true leadership potential. Her desire to work with students, no matter the age or grade level, is just one of the many attributes that make her an outstanding teacher. It is an honor to have Diane Cromwell represent Aquila Elementary as Teacher of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Diane Cromwell. Our next nominee, Erin McNeil. Because I love you. When considering what to look for in a candidate for Teacher of the Year, you want someone that loves students, gets the most from all her students, loves coming to school, goes above and beyond for students, helps his or her peers with their students, and is loved and respected. This person for PHS is our avid and yearbook teacher, Erin McNeil. Mrs. McNeil is the person that can reach a student that no one else can reach. She develops such a strong relationship with students that the student will exceed not only all teachers' expectations, but their own expectations as well. She is the #1 cheerleader that we have on our campus for students. Palaca High would not be as fun without her. Ladies and gentlemen, Erin McNeil. Our next nominee, Marilyn Reed. When you think of perfection, think of Marilyn Reed. Not only is Mrs. Reed a perfectionist, but also she demands perfection from her students. As the 6th grade language arts teacher at Putnam Academy, Mrs. Reed works tirelessly to ensure her students are prepared for 7th grade and beyond. She expects and demands the best from every student every day. A stickler for the conventions of standard English, she requires students to redo and rewrite every assignment until grammar and punctuation rules are as automatic as breathing. Students leave 6th grade knowing the language of school and work and being properly prepared for a lifetime of success. In addition to academic prowess, students have learned about tenacity this year. Just 3 short weeks before the first day of school, Mrs. Reed received confirmation that she had one of the most dreaded diseases known to man. From the beginning, she was determined not to let her students suffer academically, as they watched her suffer physically through the process of surgery and subsequent treatments, which will continue through the end of the school year. From writing lesson plans while hospitalized, to teaching from a chair because she was too weak to stand, to videotaping lessons to ensure each class received the same instruction in case she was too sick to remain at school all day, Mrs. Reed demonstrated to her students that when life throws you lemons, make lemonade. Decades from now, when the students are old and gray, they will remember the content learned in Mrs. Reed's class was most important in helping them lead successful lives. But mostly they will remember how Marilyn Reed taught them to persevere and live. Ladies and gentlemen, Marilyn Reed. Our next nominee, Deborah Cheo. Deborah Cheo teaches 8th grade geometry and is a vital part of our school and community. Mrs. Cheo is a talented teacher using differentiated strategies at a very high level while maintaining great supportive relationships with her students. Each child has a path all their own, and Deb sees to it that each child's learning needs are met at an individual level. Her use of formative assessments and her quick response to the information gleaned from them ensures that her students are working on challenging material to meet the demands of such a rigorous course. Great teaching isn't just about strategies, it's about being devoted to children in every aspect. Mrs. Cheo exemplifies this in her role as a teacher, parent, and a student advocate. Mrs. Cheo's professionalism and inquisitive nature sets her apart, being willing to dissect, reflect, and learn from every lesson she teaches has become a leader for her peers. Her personal attribute, being a relentless learner, is what made Deborah the great teacher and role model she has become. Ladies and gentlemen, Deborah Cheo. Our next nominee, Alex Gastelum. Alex Gastelum is so deserving of being Teacher of the Year at Robert H. Jenkins Middle School. He has been teaching for 22 years, and all of those years have been at Jenkins Middle School. His devotion to our school is much appreciated and does not go unnoticed. Mr. Gastelum can handle any challenge you give him. Although he is the king of technology, he has a wide range of experiences, such as teaching ELA, science, digital photography, and computer science CTE courses. He attends various STEM trainings to keep current with instructional strategies and technologies. Although he teaches multiple contents, he never forgets that he is really teaching children whom he offers support and acceptance. Mr. G, as his students lovingly call him, doesn't work for awards or accolades, but simply to positively impact the students he serves each day. They enjoy his easygoing personality and amazing sense of humor. Students look up to him as a mentor and seek out his advice. He has a way of finding each student's unique talents to help them find their strengths. Mr. G teaches his students to strive for excellence, to respect each other, and he always wears a smile. He is liked and respected by students, families, and colleagues alike. We are proud of his accomplishments and proud to call him family. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Gastelum. Our next nominee, Kristen White. Kristen goes far outside of the scope of her job duties. Kristen supports everyone with patience, kindness, and consistency. When she transferred to Mosley 3 years ago, she immediately began training staff, identifying student needs, and organizing the MTSS process. In just a few short months, Kristen provided the structures and commitment that brought quality interventions, appropriate services, and school-wide change to Mosley. Each day, parents and students recognize and depend on Mrs. White. There have been many meetings in which parents have been brought to tears because of the compassion and assistance that they received from her. Kristen also mentors and supports guidance counselors from other schools. Her work serves as a model for many to learn from. The results of Kristen's work will continue to make an impact on the students and teachers of the Putnam County School District for years to come. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen White.
Our first nominee for the Support-Related Employee of the Year is Crystal Sweat. Crystal Sweat is an awesome employee who has spent the past 5 years working in the ESD Pre-K program at Brownie Pierce Elementary. She is known for her smiling face, perky attitude, and getting a multitude of tasks accomplished each and every day. Crystal's mornings are frequently spent easing the separation anxiety felt by children and their parents. She is delightful with her words and manner, making all around her feel confident that it will be the best day ever. Crystal takes on responsibilities that are over and above normal employee efforts. Every afternoon, she cheerfully travels around campus delivering end-of-day messages. She is an expert at organizing a safe and efficient bus dismissal in the afternoons. She knows the bus routes, all the bus drivers, and which siblings belong together. Crystal has bravely taken on the huge responsibility of managing the 21st Century Community Learning Center after-school program. 100 students are lucky to have her planning quality homework, tutoring, and enrichment activities every afternoon. Crystal gets the job done when it really matters. She is indispensable as an employee, and everyone from the Brownie Pierce Bayer family loves her. Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Sweat. Our next nominee, Adelia Vega. Miss Adelia Vega is the Support-Related Employee of the Year for C.H. Price Middle School, and she has demonstrated her dedication to the students, school, and faculty in a multitude of ways. Ms. Vega goes above and beyond her required duties every day by showing up early to make sure all of her duties are taken care of so her teachers are prepared for the day. In addition, she will jump right into help out her other colleagues with their assigned teacher duties. During this time of substitute shortages, she is the one employee that never gets upset when her normal routine is disrupted when she has to cover for a classroom teacher during their absence. Instead, she uses this as a way to work with other students and build relationships that are vital to the emotional well-being these students need. She is a self-starter and is very intuitive to the needs of our school by seeing what needs to be done and taking the initiative to do it. As you can see, C.H. Price Middle School is honored to have such a dedicated support-related employee, and we are proud to have her represent our school. Thank you, Ms. Vega, for all that you do every day. Ladies and gentlemen, Adelia Vega. Our next nominee, Mary Ann Bridges. Mary Ann Bridges has been a full-time custodian at Crescent City High School since 2015. Mary Ann has worked with our team and continue to support students and teachers at all hours of the day, working mornings, afternoon, and night shifts. She has been a strong supporter of Crescent City High School's athletics and Future Farmers of America extracurricular programs. Ms. Bridges has always worked with a smile on her face. Students, faculty, and staff always enjoy her company and the positive attitude she carries each day. During the summer months, no task is too big for her. She is always working hard to make Crescent City High School the cleanest and safest school in the district. Marianne has a great sense of humor that is infectious. You will never find her standing still. She is always on the go, looking for the next task to complete. The teachers at Crescent City High School love having her as the custodian assigned to their building because they know it'll always be clean with the white glove approach. It is a privilege to work with Miss Bridges every day, and we are proud to have her as part of the Raider Nation. Ladies and gentlemen, Marianne Bridges. Our next nominee, Faye Word. If you looked up the definition of sunshine, you will find a picture of Faye Word. Miss Faye, as she is lovingly referred to by our students, is a jack of all trades. In the 7 years she has been at E.H. Miller, she has learned how to do a variety of positions. Miss Faye is a team player. You can ask her to do anything and it is done, promptly, correctly, and always with a smile. This year, she is frequently the voice and face of our school as she spends approximately 3/4 of her time answering the phone, greeting guests and parents, and assisting students in the front office. When you call E.H. Miller, you will hear, "Good morning, and thank you for calling E.H. Miller School. We are having a fantastic day. How may I help you?" Her positive nature is soothing and welcoming to everyone at school. The remainder of Faye's day is spent assisting students who may need to diffuse or regroup in the quietness of our thinking room. Regardless of the task given to her, Faye Word takes charge, gets it completed, and leaves everyone she comes across feeling better for the encounter. E.H. Miller is extremely proud to have our own fascist, Faye Word, represent our school at PCSD Support Associate of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Faye Word. Our next nominee, Kenyon Henry. It's my honor and pleasure to recognize Mr. Kenyon Henry as Miller Middle School School-Related Employee of the Year. When I thought about all that he does for Miller, a quote kept swimming through my mind. It was from Sam Ewing, a former but not well-known professional baseball player. He was a minor league manager and a college-level educator. It's safe to say he knows about hard work shapes a person on the field, behind the scenes, and in the classroom. Just like Kenyon. Ewing said, "Hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all." Kenyon is one who turns up his sleeves and works extremely hard in everything that he does as a custodian here at Miller Middle School. Mr. Henry loves Miller Middle School and loves the Crescent City community. In his spare time, Kenyon, who also graduated from Crescent City High School, is a football and basketball coach for the high school program. He believes it's important to mentor the young adults to support them in becoming productive members of our society. Congratulations, Mr. Henry, in being selected as our School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyon Henry. Our next nominee, Nicole Chauncey. Nicole Chauncey has been an employee of the Putnam County Schools since 2004. I have worked with Ms. Chauncey since 2018 when we both began working at American Elementary. Ms. Chauncey works as a paraprofessional on our self-contained primary ESE class. While paraprofessional is her title, school mom is her more appropriate job. Ms. Chauncey cares for the social, academic, and emotional well-being of her students. She runs small groups as well as the entire class. You can see Ms. Chauncey working to help students feel proficient and secure in their classroom. She has a knack of making sure each child gets what she or he needs in order to have a successful day. Ms. Chauncey can be carrying in clothes, food, toys, etc. to give to her students. She knows that many of her students go without and wants to make sure that they have every opportunity to feel the love and affection of an adult. Ms. Chauncey is very aware that if a child's basic needs are not met, he or she will not be successful in school. I could not imagine working at Innerlarkin Elementary without her positive and loving personality, brightening our classrooms and hallways. We feel fortunate to work with Ms. Chauncey as an Innerlarkin Elementary Ram. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicole Chauncey. Our next nominee, Leslie Smith. Ms. Smith is essential to the daily function of Interlaken High School. She strives to make every student and visitor that enters our school feel welcome. She has an infectious smile and greets everyone by name when they enter. She is meticulous in all that she does. Ms. Smith is very diligent in tracking the comings and goings of all of our students to ensure their safety and success on a daily basis. Ms. Smith is highly self-motivated and always willing to jump in and help with any task at hand. She always goes above and beyond her designated duties. Ms. Smith had to step in and be backup to our data clerk for several weeks. She was able to ensure the accuracy and integrity of all student and school data for Interlaken High School. She was very diligent in tracking each individual student's data to ensure their success. Her dedication to Interlaken High School is unsurpassable. Her southern motherly charm coupled with her work ethic makes her an invaluable employee and the keystone of Interlaken High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Leslie Smith. Our next nominee, Ashley Driggers. Ashley Driggers has been selected as the School-Related Employee of the Year at James A. Long Elementary School by her colleagues. I wholeheartedly agree with the choice and believe Ms. Driggers to be an excellent representative of the tradition of excellence at our school. Ms. Driggers runs the front office efficiently. She is professional, helpful, conscientious, and dependable. She never seems to let things get the best of her. She is always happy and deals with the parents, students, and staff with great patience. She is definitely the right choice for the first face you see at our school. Ms. Driggers ensures the climate in the office is welcoming and inviting, all the while maintaining school safety as top priority. Thank you, Ashley, for representing James A. Long Elementary School so well. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley Driggers. Our next nominee, Glenda Keaton. Glenda Keaton takes great pride in her work as our head custodian at Kelly Smith Elementary School. I have seen great changes in the appearance of our campus due to her leadership. Ms. Keaton has a staff that she constantly monitors to ensure that things are getting done in a clean and timely manner. She goes above and beyond her normal hours to make sure our school is ready for our students, teachers, and parents. Our floors constantly shine and our grounds are very welcoming to our students and their parents. Ms. Keaton worked countless hours during our most recent hurricane and worked side by side with the health department to help with their needs. She coordinated the coverage of the custodians during this time. She will step in and help wherever is needed. She often helps with our parent pickup and drop-off. We are lucky to have a head custodian that does the extra things to help our school run so efficiently. We are proud to have Glenda Keaton represent Kelly Smith as our Support-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Glenda Keaton. Our next nominee, Elijah Campbell. Mr. Elijah Campbell is an outstanding student success mentor at Millen Elementary School. One fact about Mr. Campbell is that he is respected and admired by everyone who has the privilege to know him. His patient, caring demeanor makes him easily approachable and well-liked. Mr. Campbell genuinely cares for the students and continuously models behaviors of respect, humility, self-respect, and dignity. He demonstrates a positive demeanor and the entire student body adores him. In addition, Mr. Campbell maintains an outstanding rapport with the faculty, staff, and parents. Mr. Campbell has quickly become a cornerstone of Millen Elementary School. Mr. Campbell goes above and beyond his basic duties. He takes great pride in his work. I can always count on Mr. Campbell to do the best job possible and complete it with a positive and upbeat attitude. He is energetic, innovative, and reliable. Mr. Campbell is extremely dedicated and is enthusiastic. He shows his dedication to Millen Elementary School by arriving early to work, leaving late, and always adjusting his schedule to accommodate the needs at our school. Mr. Campbell often rides a bus route in the afternoon to ensure that our students maintain appropriate behavior on the bus. Mr. Campbell is truly a blessing in our school. In addition to his numerous duties as a student success mentor at Millen Elementary, Mr. Campbell also supports the students of Palaca High School through coaching. As a former and successful student athlete at Palaca High School, Mr. Campbell uses his talents to mold our youth of today. Ladies and gentlemen, Elijah Campbell. Our next nominee, Millie Whiteside. Millie Whiteside is the Executive Secretary Extraordinary at Melrose Elementary. She is not your normal Executive Secretary. She is a go-getter who ensures that everything, and I mean everything, is always taken care of at our school. She is the first one on campus each day, preparing the day by sending out a morning memo letting everyone know who is absent, what activities are happening for the day, and a positive quote to get us through the day. She is always willing to help out without being asked to cover duties where we are short-staffed. She helps with breakfast duty and afternoon bus duty. During duty time, she is able to talk with students and build relationships while learning about them and their families. If it needs to be done, I can assure you that Millie has probably already taken care of it before you can start to work on it. Millie diligently works with each and every employee to make sure they have everything they need. She puts others first before thinking of herself. She takes the lead in the children we adopt as a school at Christmas by shopping for them. She helps to decorate for all of our functions for faculty and staff and retirement parties. Millie also is the leader of our yearbook, taking pictures, gathering information, and putting the yearbook together so our students have a great keepsake for their time at Melrose. As you can see, Millie wears many hats at Melrose Elementary and truly is the glue that holds our school together. We are so blessed to have Millie at Melrose Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, Millie Whiteside. Our next nominee, Virginia Briardi. I have had the pleasure of supervising and working with Ms. Briardi for the past 4 years. Mrs. Briardi has succeeded in finding a balance between her various roles at Middleton Burney Elementary, from the robotics co-sponsor and a snack pack co-coordinator to the media specialist. I have had the chance to get to know Ms. Briardi, and I say without a doubt that she is a person of good moral character. She is forthright and fair, motivational, and supremely knowledgeable in how to encourage the best performance from our students. Ms. Briardi operates with integrity and never has a bad word to say about anyone. She is also loyal, hardworking, dedicated, and never leaves a job unfinished. In her capacity as media specialist, Mrs. Briardi exhibits excellent communication skills and always remains professional. Her magnificent interpersonal skills extended to every level of our school. We are proud to have Mrs. Briardi represent Middleton Burney Elementary School. Ladies and gentlemen, Virginia Briardi. Our next nominee, Luz Rivera. Luz Rivera is the heart of Aquila Elementary School. As the head custodian, he has high expectations and leads by example with his staff, always striving for excellence. The pride he takes in his work is reflected in our beautifully maintained campus, both inside and out. You seldom see Luz without a smile on his face, and he can often be heard singing while he works. Behind his custodial duties, Luz is highly involved in many areas of the school. He uses our artistic talents to paint the campus and decorate for various events. For our Veterans Day celebration, he decorates the cafeteria, sets up a display honoring the different branches of the military, creates a bulletin board with pictures of local veterans, and decorates tables for their luncheon. He also develops the theme for our yearly Christmas program, designs the stage, turns the cafeteria into a festive winter wonderland, dresses his staff in the theme, and designs t-shirts for other staff to wear. When it was time to open Aquila as a shelter, Luz worked diligently throughout the weekend to ensure we were organized and prepared so our shelter occupants and workers were comfortable. Luz works with our safety patrol to encourage student leadership and will be chaperoning their Washington field trip. He is bilingual and is often called on to translate phone calls, parent-teacher conferences, and help new students and parents register for school. Luz exemplifies all the positive attributes you can ask for in a team member. To say that he is the heart of Aquila is an understatement. It is an honor for Luz Rivera to represent Aquila Elementary School as a School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Luz Rivera. Lewis, I'm sorry. Our next nominee, Kathy Doan. Kathy Doan is one of the hardest workers you will find at Palaca High School. She genuinely cares for all students, faculty, and staff, and is concerned with everyone's well-being. Everyone in the front office looks forward to our daily dosed dark chocolate that she brings us for our heart health. She is positive and helps everyone who visits. The office is always decorated for the latest holiday. Miss Doan's pride and joy is Doan's Cafe that she runs every morning and most afternoons for our students. The students look forward to seeing her and getting their snacks and drinks for the day. Her desire for PHS to be the best is contagious, and we cannot imagine our front office without her. Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Doan. Our next nominee, Jerry Hunt. Until this school year, Putnam Academy could not afford to employ its own maintenance worker, custodian, or groundskeeper. Instead, all three duties were contracted with local vendors on a weekly, monthly, or emergency basis. To say the least, our campus and facility had a lot to be desired. In July, the maintenance gods smiled on us and sent Jerry Hunt to Dolphin Country. Because of Jerry's diligence and dedication, our facility and campus have never looked better. Jerry is a superman who is among the first to arrive, is the last to leave, and is at the school almost every weekend, ensuring our grounds are immaculate, our facility is sparkling, and our campus is running like a well-oiled machine. A jack of all trades, Jerry has also worked tirelessly on improvement projects that we could not afford and thought would not be possible until the distant future, which have made our school a safer campus for students and staff. He is truly a godsend. Putnam Academy is proud to present Jerry Hunt as the School-Related Employee of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Hunt. Our next nominee, Gregory Raphael. It is my distant pleasure to nominate Gregory Raphael as Putnam County Support-Related Employee of the Year from QI Roberts Junior Senior High School. Greg has been an important part of our community for many years, and he represents just what it means to be part of a school family. Mr. Raphael is the voice and face of QI Roberts, welcoming students each morning and starting our day on the announcements with a gift for Gab revealing the best radio hosts and entertainers. He immediately shifts into being an instructional support in our geometry classes, supporting our Teacher of the Year, Ms. Cheo, by running small group instruction in our largest classes. Greg is also taking care of just about anything that needs doing, from checking in deliveries to covering classes when teachers need to step out to meetings. He supervises transitions and aids to the safety of our campus in many ways. Mr. Raphael is also a key part of the school community as a parent to his own while being a stand-in father figure for so many of our students. He advises kids and cares for innumerable children at QI. These close relationships make the difficult and stressful load on students more bearable. His kind words and demeanor also aids in the well-being of the staff. QI Roberts is a special place, gathering students from around the county and surrounding counties into one place where the expectations and pressure to succeed are intense. Having a caring, joyful role model, being such a visible and connected influence on the school has allowed us to continue our success. Ladies and gentlemen, Gregory Raphael. Our next nominee, Haley DeRosset. Since August of 2017, Haley has gone above and beyond in her service to Robert H. Jenkins Middle School. As a matter of fact, her face is the first one you see when entering the building. As a day at Jenkins consists of many challenges, Haley is gifted with the calm demeanor necessary to bring peace. This and other reasons is why she was selected as Jenkins Middle School Support Person of the Year. Haley's experiences have become a strength. For example, her initial role at Jenkins was to provide one-on-one assistance to students within the academic setting. Haley, however, went above those duties and established a personal connection with each of her students that exists even today. As her duties were transitioned to the front desk, she used what she had learned in the classroom to provide support and guidance to parents and students alike. Moreover, she offers support to our dean by making sure records are adequately kept and communicating with parents in regards to student services. With each phone call or office visit, she brings a level of humility and kindness that is second to none. Her good days are contagious while her bad days are unknown. She seeks peace in every storm of work and life. She takes pride in every moment she shares with her students and coworkers. As a result, we are grateful to have her a part of the Jenkins Middle School family. Ladies and gentlemen, Haley DeRosset. Our next nominee, Isaiah Session. Mr. Session is such a key member of the Mosley staff and is dedicated and consistent in his job duties each day. His role as a member of the behavior team allows him to serve 4th and 5th graders. He created a daily schedule so that he is able to visit each class he serves and implements preventive measures in order to eliminate negative behaviors. He is also on call at all times and responds to any unforeseen situation that arises. His goal is to create a solution for problems in our or near the classroom setting so that time away from instruction is limited. Isaiah is often affectionately referred to as Session by his peers who overwhelmingly selected him for this honor. Mr. Session received more votes from his peers than I've ever seen in my 11 years organizing and tallying this award. Some of the things that his peers said about him were, Mr. Session is always a phone call away. He is always present, and his presence is widely known throughout the school. Mosley would not be the same without Session. Session works hard to keep our campus running smoothly. He has a great command over students and builds relationships outside of behavior issues. Isaiah is always willing to help anyone, anytime, in any situation. I appreciate his dedication to Mosley. When he cracks a smile, it is contagious. Not only is Isaiah a positive role model to students, but also to other employees because of his commitment and positive work ethic. Isaiah was one of 2 support employees who did not miss a single day of work all year and reports on work on time or early each day. He is truly an amazing worker, and he is so deserving of this award. Ladies and gentlemen, Isaiah Session. Our next nominee, Terry Turk. Terry is a dedicated employee with a sincere interest in making every project she works on successful and every interaction with others positive and helpful. She possesses many traits and skills that contribute to her success. These include sincerity, kindness, integrity, optimism, amazing organizational skills, diplomacy, persistence, patience, and are knowledgeable of the past practice in the department. I love that Terry is conscientious about the district's funding. You can frequently hear her on the phone negotiating shipping rates, discounts for purchased products, and reduced rates for hotels. She works tirelessly to ensure that we receive the best possible price so that we can do more with the money we are allocated. She is so sweet on the phone that most of the time people cannot help but agree. Ladies and gentlemen, Terry Turk. Our next nominee, Gloria Menadu. The Exceptional Student Education Department is proud to announce Gloria Menadu as a Support-Related Employee of the Year. Gloria has worked for the Putnam County School District's ESC department for 16 years in various capacities. The last 2 years have been as the records paraprofessional in charge of all the ESC student cumulative record copies for the district that are housed in our records room at E.H. Miller School. Not only does she supervise the safety and security of these documents, she also mentors and trains new record professionals. This is a very difficult task due to the immense amount of federal and state regulations that must be taught in a short amount of time to someone that is totally new to them. Her job also entails meeting the needs of the staffing specialists, school psychologists, and various therapists on a daily basis. These include filing records requests, answering phone calls, and organizing the student cumulative folders. Gloria's greatest asset is that she always has a positive and uplifting word for anyone that comes in the office or that she makes contact with. This can be very daunting, even some of the stressful situations that our ESE employees, parents, and students sometimes encounter. Gloria has a way of keeping everyone grounded in these tough situations. Gloria Menadu is a valued and cherished asset not only to the ESE department, but to the Putnam County School District as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Gloria Menadu. Our next nominee, Brandon Alex Busey. Alex has been with the district for 3 years and works in the Information Technology Department as an assistant computer technician. Those that regularly interface with him regard Alex as a pleasure to work alongside. His day-to-day job includes, but is not limited to, setting up and maintaining Chromebooks, ensuring connectivity to desktop units, and push and baseline contact to new PCs. All this he does extremely well. Where Alex sets himself apart from his peers is his customer service-centered mindset. He is always looking to increase his tool bag with knowledge and skill he gleans from other and through self-study. He also seems to maintain a balanced and optimistic personality, and his sincere character sets the tone for positive results when dealing with issues on and off the job. Alex has developed an independent work ethic and completes tasks with very little supervision. He also is a great team player and will always assist a coworker or PCSD team member when he can. Working with Alex causes even the casual observer to admire his kind, compassionate, and sincere heart. He is a self-motivated, energetic employee and will go far as he gathers years under his belt within the Putnam County School District. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Busey. Our next nominee, Keith Ladd. The Maintenance Department is pleased to present Keith Ladd for the 2019-2020 School-Related Employee of the Year. Keith came to the Maintenance Department in July 1984. He has been a tremendous asset to the Maintenance Department throughout his 31 years with the district. Keith has brought with him a strong knowledge base, a sharp attention to detail, a highly motivated commitment to his position. Keith has an extensive background in HVAC, energy management, mechanics, and technology. Keith presently serves as the Maintenance Department's lead HVAC foreman with a wide variety of duties that include maintaining HVAC, energy management, assisting with project planning, and maintenance technical issues, along with many other various tasks. Keith is a dependable employee who is eager to be of service to our district and maintains a safe working environment. He takes the initiative to make valuable project improvements and is also focused on reducing project costs. Keith's contribution to our school district makes him a valuable asset to the Maintenance Department, to the school district, and to the community as well. We thank you, Keith, for all your hard work and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Ladd. Our next nominee, Birdloo Kim Mack. Here we are again, 2 consecutive years of being nominated for this prestige recognition. Miss Birdloo Kim Mack. I have witnessed Miss Mack's growth and development as a natural leader during this past year. She approaches any analytical task with an exacting eye that is scientific, thorough, and meticulous. I personally do not know how she handles the pressure of being the go-to person at the Central Bus compound, but she does it well. Ms. Mack is very serious about coming to work every day, earning perfect attendance recognition. Kim is a valuable part of our department and has a positive attitude. I am honored that her peers once again chose Kim to represent Transportation Central. Thank you, Ms. Mack, for all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, Birdloo Kim Mack. Our next nominee, Ruby Addison. Since I began working at Middleton Burney Elementary School, I have known Miss Addison as a parent and as part of the Middleton Burney staff. Observing her as a parent, Miss Addison has always been one to support a good, strong education for her children. She understands the importance of education to achieve one's goals. Miss Addison not only helped her children in academics, but she also supported them in sports and other activities as their biggest cheerleader. While her children were in school, Miss Addison was always a big supporter of the school and attended many PTO meetings and held offices. She volunteered for many activities. Miss Addison was always a parent we could count on. When I first met Miss Addison, she worked in the cafeteria. She always had a smile for everyone who came into the cafeteria. She made both students and faculty feel like family. When she changed jobs to the bus compound, I still see the same helpful lady. Miss Addison has always been very professional in all her jobs. Miss Addison is always a big supporter of the community. I have seen her step up when there has been a tragedy and do what is necessary for healing to begin with the families she has helped. She volunteers for many community activities. Miss Addison is a wonderful person to work with. She's the type of employee administrators like to have. I feel Miss Addison is a great representative of the School-Related Employee of the Year for Transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruby Addison. Our next nominee, Carol Trevarthen. It's a pleasure to recognize Carol Trevarthen as a support person for Transportation West. As a bus operator, Carol has safely transported our students to and from school for the past 7 years. Through quality service, she maintains a discipline and a safe environment for students who board her school bus. She also works in the office handling field trip assignments, answering phone calls, supporting employees with computer technicalities, and works well with staff and parents. She has a prompt manner in which she handles paperwork and the daily mind-boggling adventures of transportation. She knows this is not a straight 8 to 5 job. She stays late when necessary. Carol does a remarkable job, and we are extremely pleased with her work, which makes her an invaluable part of our team. Carol is always willing to help and would be an asset to any one of our departments. Her attitude towards hard work and getting things right the first time makes her an overall quality and loyalty to our department a great additive. Ladies and gentlemen, Carol Trevarthen. Our next nominee, Carrie Offord, for Substitute Central. Carrie definitely deserves this award. She is the definition of a hard worker. Carrie is always available. She never turns a job down. She is someone I can count on at 5 a.m. and stays past 3:30 to make sure all kids are gone. She is always on time and is super devoted to each class she is in. We really wish Carrie was permanently part of the Mosley team. She has the best attitude and always has a smile on her face. Mosley loves Carrie. Since joining ESS in September of 2018, Ms. Offord has worked in over 198 different assignments for Mosley Elementary. ESS and Putnam County are very thankful for you and your support to the students of Mosley Elementary. Ladies and gentlemen, Carrie Offord. Our next nominee, Gail Lockhart, Substitute South. Ms. Lockhart has been a great supporter of Crescent City High School and the Crescent City area since joining ESS in July of 2017. She is always willing to help out when asked. She is reliable and shares her positive attitude with all those around her. She is considered part of the staff. It is wonderful to have someone that knows our students and staff and can help continue their education in a teacher's absence. Since joining ESS in July of 2017, Ms. Lockhart has worked over 302 assignments at Crescent City High. ESS is proud of her hard work and dedication to the students and staff of Putnam County and appreciate her going above and beyond to support Crescent City High School. Ladies and gentlemen, Gail Lockhart. Our next nominee and final nominee of the night, Ira Strickland, substitute West area. Mr. Strickland is always willing and able to sub when I need him. We have been in a bind with vacancies this year, and he really stepped up and filled in for us. He always calls to see if he is needed, arrives early, and is very courteous and kind to everyone. He always has a positive attitude and willing to help out at the last minute wherever needed. Since joining ESS in July of 2017, Mr. Strickland has worked over 372 days. We greatly appreciate his dedication to the students and staff of Putnam County and his support to the Interlaken area. Ladies and gentlemen, Ira Strickland.
Okay, so it is time to announce for our district winners. Before I forget, because I normally forget, if you are one of our district winners, the bouquet of flower arrangements that are up here on the tables, those are one of your other prizes that you get to take home with you, the beautiful arrangement there. So this year, we are excited to announce the addition of a new district level award. Based on the very emphatic recommendation of our judges, who pleaded with us for the last 2 years, we will be honoring 2 support-related employees at the district level. Beginning with this year, we will have a district support-related, so someone from a department, as well as a school-based support-related employee. And based on that information, the judges, it's just the work that they do is so instrumental, but you can't compare, and it was really hard because they both need to be recognized. So we met and we agreed to do that. So we are very excited for the first time ever that we get to present the 2020 Putnam County Department-Based Support-Related Employee of the Year to someone who was described by the judges as being a team player, exceptional, caring, dedicated, does it from the heart, has a billionaire attitude, but doesn't do it for the money. From Transportation, Miss Bird Blue, Kim Mack. Yes, and if you are one of the district winners, you have to hang around for a little bit of extra time at the end. We have to get group pictures. Okay, so for our 2020 Putnam County School-Based Support-Related Employee of the Year, and as the judges described this person, their words were phenomenal, simply amazing, an incredible individual whose heart is truly for the school and students. From Aquila Elementary, Mr. Luis Rivera. 2020 Teacher of the Year to represent Putnam County Schools. This teacher has endless enthusiasm, upbeat and positive attitude, cheerleader for her coworkers. From James A. Long Elementary, Miss Kelly McGahee. Congratulations to all three of our district winners. I will be getting information to our school-related support and our Teacher of the Year for their packet now to go to the state. We are very proud to be represented not just by these three individuals, but every individual that has been honored here tonight. You truly make us proud to be Putnam County School District. Your commitment to our district and your devotion to our students and our community is greatly appreciated. Please remember that each and every one of you will live forever in the hearts and memories of your students. Again, I just want to thank all of our event sponsors and our partners. We thank you for your generosity and your continued support. Musselwhites, again, for a delicious dinner. And finally, to all of our guests, we thank you for joining us in recognizing these outstanding employees. Have a wonderful evening. Try to stay warm. And most of all, please drive carefully. Good night.